Hello, my name is Peter and today I want to give you a very quick overview of Dash0. Let's jump right into it. When you look into Dash0, the first thing that you see is the map. The map contains all the services and the lines are indicating what service is talking to each other. On the left hand side you can see the main navigation showing different views, but usually in Dash0 you can navigate based on context, and this is just the entry point. So let's assume I'm responsible for the ad service and I want to take a look. If I want to see more details, I can just hover over this for some details or click on it so that the detail panel opens. That provides me with all the relevant information of this specific service, including what's the stack this is running on, do I have failed checks, red metrics, meaning requests, errors, and duration. I can see what operations this service is providing. In this case, it's only one operation. It's based on RPC, and for this I can see the red metrics. And I can see what resources are powering the service. In this case, we have 3 resources where it seems that only 2 are powering this, but this one does not have any requests. If I want to see more details about specific telemetry, I can click on the telemetry panel and that shows me spans, logs and metrics related to this specific service. When I want to take a closer look at some spans, maybe because the service is red, it has some errors, I can see on the horizontal axis the selected time range. The vertical axis is indicating the response time and the color is indicating if these calls are erroneous. So when I want to take a look at slow and erroneous calls, it's super easy. I can just open a window, set time range and duration, and that brings me to the tracing view. In the tracing view, I can see the selected spans based on this window that I've opened, and you can see the filter here on top was specified. If I want to extend this filter, for example, with a certain criteria, I can say I just want to have, let's say, server spans, so spans of the kind server. I can just type in server, and that shows me all the information that contains server. That can be keys, that can be values, anything. And here I can see type server, and now this is selected. So that is a very powerful filter input, and you can really filter on anything. Now I can see my filtered spans. When I want to see more details, I just click on a span. On the right hand side, this opens the detail panel, showing me the span that I've selected. This is marked here, showing the entire distributed trace. When I want to see this in the full screen, I just click on view full trace. When I want to leave this, I can just go to arrow back or hit escape. I can see more details about this specific span, so including all the span attributes. And here we are following the semantic conventions, which means this call has reported a gRPC status code 8. And for me, I'm not a gRPC expert, so I would have no idea what this means. But Dash0 knows when the field RPC gRPC status code contains a number, we can automatically map this to a human readable information. And this is what we are seeing here. If I want to see some other information about this specific trace, I can go, for example, to events and logs. That shows me all the log records that are related to this specific distributed trace. And when I select one of those, then Dash0 brings me to the logging section, specifying the filter based on the trace I'm coming from. And these are all the log records that are related to this specific trace. And of course here, I can always select one of these log records, and on the right hand side, this shows me more details. Now I've clicked a few times and I navigate almost all through Dash0. But of course you don't need to click. For example, let's assume I'm back in the map and I want to navigate using the keyboard. You can just press or hold Command, Control or Shift. Let's press Shift for some time, and then you can see everywhere in Dash0 where you can use shortcuts. For example, when I want to filter for something or I want to navigate, I can just hit Command K, go to tracing, for example, then I'm in the tracing view. When I hit Shift F and now I filter for example, the ad service, it shows me the ad service. And this way you can navigate super quickly. Let's quickly go to dashboards. Dash0's dashboarding is based on Perseus, a very powerful CNCF sandbox project. I can, of course, select any of these dashboards, and let's just take a look at this example dashboard. Here you can see all the relevant information. And in Dash0, we're using one query language, which is called PromQL. And we use this for metrics, as you may know, PromQL, but we are also using this for spans and for log records. And here's an example. So in this case, we are showing you the spans that have been received by Dash0 in a certain interval. We count for the increase and we group it by service name. In this case, you can see how many calls are made to a certain service, not by sending us the metric, but just by sending us the traces. Of course, you can do the same, for example, for logs. There we go. This is now the amount of log records sent to Dash0 in a certain time range, grouped by service. Very powerful, and you can almost define anything. You can calculate in this, you can achieve anything that you want with this approach. The last thing that I want to show you is alerting. So you can create alerting checks. Let's quickly do this. I can create a check rule, and you have various options. You can specify a certain metric if you want. For example, let's go for container memory usage. When I select this metric, on top you can immediately see these are all the containers and you get a preview of the memory usage. When you want to go a little bit more advanced, you can switch to PromQL and then you see the selected query here, or the selected metric, visualized as a PromQL query. And of course you can adjust this. Or you can just put the entire PromQL query that you want in it. Or when you just want to get started or want to use some best practices for alerting, you can use templates. Templates are based on PERCs. And templates are based on awesome Prometheus alerts. And what you can do is, for example, I can specify, I have an orchestrator, I run Kubernetes, and then I can select one of these rules. For example, Kubernetes pod crash looping. When I click on this, then you can see a description of this alert. You can see the PromQL query, and we know what metric we need for this alert to be fired. And Dash0 knows if we have this information. So it shows you this metric is available, so you can just use it. This was a very quick overview. There's so much more that we would love to show you. Let's just get in contact. You can register for a free 14-day trial. If you have any questions, any feedback, reach out to us anytime. Thank you very much.